Folks, what the crap's going on? HeirofCarthage here. That was for old time's sake, right? Someone asked me the other day in a comment, what happened to the what the crap's going on? I just was looking for something different. Been doing it for so many years, and some people probably don't understand that it's just like an old feature of the channel, and so a lot of people may think it's weird, but whatever. So I was just trying something different. But, I don't mind bringing back the old every now and then, just for old time's sake. So whoever it was that asked about it, there you go. I gave you the classic intro. Welcome back to the Ice Court, and we are going to be continuing the epic journey in building Kislev to greatness. And great Kislev will be, folks. Let's see, I got this Patriarch back. So, a few things left over from last episode that we should go ahead and address now. We need to have a protection building in each province in order to make sure that we don't have rifts spawn on the next time they roll around. So we should probably handle that. The building that's going to lose me the least money here in order to build is going to be this one. Let's open up one in every province. We probably don't need this building here. A blast. Let's tear down this one. Remind myself what I'm getting out of this building. Devotion, supporters. We don't need the supporters anymore, and we have a ton of devotions, which should be fine. Might miss the corruption mechanic a little bit there since we're right next to chaos, but I'll risk it. Risk it for the biscuit. Do I want to tear down anything here? I mean, not particularly. And it's nice to have the negative to corruption there, but I think if I tear that down, will I have that building anywhere else? Could put one here just to have it. Let's do that. So go to here, tear that down. I probably already have one though in Kislev. Yeah, I do. But that's the building we should tear down here. And then I'll rebuild it in that other settlement because we've got to really focus now. Growth, I do want growth. I hate to lose a 60 growth bonus, but same time, I mean, one gotta go. Let's this one out, put a defensive building there. Ostland can't have one yet, and then in Troll Country, got some fixing to do here anyway. Put down both of those. Okay. Actually, yeah, I'll go back to Troll Country. Let's tear down all three of those. None of those really suit my purpose there. Okay. So that'll make way for the defensive buildings. Still got Plague for a couple more. I forgot to go grab a Plague mod to get rid of that crap. I'm gonna need to go get it though, or else it's gonna just be untenable to fight, Nurgle and the Legion of Chaos. The Cannibal Bearcus is camped out, headed into the mountains. That ought to be fun. Stoughton hasn't moved. This hero Patriarch hasn't moved. Let's just put him to work here, wounding. There we go. Good boy. So it took care of business there, and I've still got my Frost Maidens wounded. I need to put one of them into the army with Boris Ursin, so that's what that final spot is for. At this point, there's nothing for me to build. We have everything set. Everybody has moved. So it is time for us to end a turn. I'm going to get a couple of your comments here while the turn is ending. Appreciate your comments every time. I love reading through them. Even if you don't see a heart or a response, I have read your comment, and I appreciate you leaving it. Let me click over here just real quick and then back into the game. I had to get Killscribe's comment unhidden. So our wonderful Killscribe has brought us up to speed on the number of Tsarina Katarin's ice sculptures after the end of the last episode. I don't want any wars against the vampires right now. So Nurgle is in the lead at 4862, Khorne at 4632, and Nurgle's faction's destroyed, so Khorne could take the lead if they end up facing us. Ropsman clan still there in third, Bubonic Swarm at fourth, and Besornlings at fifth. So thank you, Killscribe. Really appreciate you. Thank you all for giving him thumbs ups. When you see his comment, if you enjoy that, if you like the fact that he's helping make the campaign fun by documenting the kills, make sure to get over there and give him a thumbs up as a special thank you. I very much appreciate all that he's doing. I'm going to keep kind of just pushing on in here towards some of these mountain settlements. Now, we finished all of our teardowns, so let's go through and do the construction. This is going to be our night patrol house. You see it says Chaos Rifts will not appear in this province. That is exactly what we want. So we can build... So this is where we wanted to put the... Yeah, do Kasar place in, and then here... Northern Oblast. We're going to put it here. Berlinsk. It's going to go here. This will keep the annoying rifts from popping up all over our territory when it happens. Right, River Urskoy. And I do apologize, by the way. There was another day where I didn't have a video. I've been trying to get you all a video every day, at least. My office where I record was being painted. Our whole house is getting painted, and it was time for the room that is my office to be painted, and so I had to disassemble all my stuff and pull it away from the walls. And then, I think it's like a week and a half from now, we've got new flooring coming in because our carpet is very old. It's as old as the house, needed to be changed. We've been in the house for like 8 years, and I haven't spent a penny on the house because we've been just saving. And so it's time to take care of some of these things. So gotta get the new floor in, and so that's gonna disrupt things once again. So coming up soon for probably a day or two, I'll probably have to go without videos because my stuff will be all torn apart and moved around. But if you all will be patient, it is almost over soon. I'm excited, because I'm excited to have it over. I'm hoping that because this has been part of the reason why my schedule's been so hectic. It's been very busy at work. We've had this going on, I've had other things going on. I have things going on in life, not like bad things or awful things, just things that make me busy, but that I don't really talk about on here right now. Going on right now, and so that's also keeping me busy, so that's coming up. Just a busy time. But I am getting videos out there every week. It's not as many as I like, but I am working on it, and I appreciate you all being patient. I get a lot of supportive, kind comments, and that really means a lot, and I thank you all for it. Looks like these Norskins have a couple of mammoths. I feel like we should go on a mammoth hunt, if for nothing else than to get some mammoths, so let's do it. Now Sven here, hoping to be somewhat like Felman Ingerson, right, and find fame in one of my campaigns, loads up his raiders, heads on down to Norska, and decides that he's gonna get his mammoths and everything ready and come for a battle. Now, what Sven didn't know is that not too long ago, the Red Tsar returned. That may not be great for him. Now, the Red Tsar is not yet in his final form. He has not evolved into that ultimate ice Pokemon, but he is still looking pretty awesome over here with his wings up there fluttering in the wind. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about, CA. Well done. So in any case, his army full of archers are going to fill the skies with arrows, and these mammoths are going to be in for a savage beatdown here. Much like in Lord of the Rings, they are going to be absorbing a lot of arrows. Unlike the Lord of the Rings, there is no charge to Rohirrim here. Only my bear riders, which I say only, bear riders are going to be pretty great at stopping the charge of these large units. So I've got the mammoths pinned straight off the front of my line, which is exactly what I want. And the larger war mammoth is being targeted first. It is down, and now the feral mammoth will become the target of our affection. Boris is leading his troops from the front, bringing his ice glaive to bear on the enemies of Kislev. To bear? I didn't actually intend that joke, but it just comes out. You can see over here the Marauder wolf chariots here rolling in. They are going to be met by my war bear riders and utterly annihilated. That is a heavyweight fight, and those chariots are not exactly heavyweight. Berserkers would do normally quite well in combat, and they would here given some time. My Kasars do not have amazing stats yet, but they're going to be under heavy ranged fire and will be suffering massively. And in the meantime, Sven's army has been just utterly chopped down, and it's going to be forced to flee. Sven himself fleeing into the distance, as you can see. Alright, well that was definitely a solid victory there for Boris, getting his feet wet in the campaign after being, oh, I guess getting thawed out to get his feet wet because he's been frozen this entire time. But here he is. I love the ice glaive he has, man. This would be an awesome tabletop miniature here as well. Love to see some of these get made by Games Workshop. Please, Games Workshop, please do it. Bring back fantasy battles.
Boris
All right.
himself.
So I'm gonna move Boris back to Erengrad. See our patriarch. Where do we want to move with the old patriarch? I see an enemy agent back this way, so let's move that direction. Get a lot of corruption. It's not really reducing in this area, unfortunately. Is there a rift over here? See the rift. Rifts, the Maelstrom. Well, is this all the ones that are either in or near my territory? It says one, but I don't know. Whatever that means. Maybe it's one more turn. I think it's one more turn, and then they go away. So hopefully we'll be seeing a reduction in corruption here soon, because it's got the growth completely stopped at Wolfenburg, which is very unhelpful to us at the moment. Let's see. Nothing to build, because we're busy there. It's like Hannibal's army is gonna stay there for a bit. The dwarves look like they're letting a Tzeentch army through, so that's not really ideal for me. May have to come back with Hannibal Barcus and address said Tzeentch army. I am gonna come back and trap them.
I am Constantin.
Okay, Stoughton's still getting over his flu.
Patriarch.
And what else we got? So Boris, we can unlock a warhorse with him. But I'm gonna start off by buffing up his armored Corsairs. Why do I always do that? Armored Corsairs. I always want to say Corsair, but that's just not right. Corsair is what I'm thinking. All right, so anyway, there we go. We'll probably do Best of the Court next, because that way it'll at least get the most out of the archers that he has, since he has a most all-archer army. Let's see what else we get here. Ursin's Protection, Lullaby. Let's go ahead and go with Impassioned. And looks like we can end another turn. So, Arthur Fisher says, I'm loving this campaign so much. It's incredibly fun. Well, thank you, Arthur, and I appreciate you watching. Very much means a lot to me when people take the time to leave some kind words. It's good motivation for me. Francesco says, air this series and your whole channel is a much-needed break while I work through my final papers. And hey, thanks for being a channel supporter, by the way, Francesco, and good luck on your finals. I hate that kind of stuff, man. It's been over 10 years since I got out of school, and I don't miss it. It is a lot of work, so best of luck to you. I'm sure you'll do great. Stick to it, and I'm glad to hear the channel is helping give you a little bit of respite. Kane says, TAA to FXAA change definitely made it seem a lot less blurry on my end at 1080p, so that's a good thing for me. Very much enjoyed this episode, Air. Thank you. Well, thanks for the feedback. That was a very nice comment someone left me. I had no idea that CA had gone and goofed the graphics up, that stuff, so I love it when you all leave me comments. You know, whatever the comment is, even if you're criticizing me, it's good to leave a comment, because at least I can stop and think about what it is you said. You know, consider whether I should be taking it to heart, right? So I definitely appreciate the folks who leave comments. It helps me in the end. It's always nice. All right. Specialist. So Zarina Katerin is suffering attrition, but I really want to get over and put some pressure on the demons, or the Legion, whatever. Legion of Chaos, Demons of Chaos, whatever the heck they are. Head towards their crappy land with Zarina Katerin and put them under threat. While Boris gets a chance. He is healed up. Our Frost Maiden is back, so she can join his army as a scout. Now we should be able to continue to use this character
Demon Slayer.
and move him up here, because we got some more hostiles inbound. Yeah, they've got Leblia sieged again. It doesn't really have a good defense.
Maiden of the
They're their Frost Maiden. Oh, that's where I should have taken Zarina Katerin.
Frost
Assault units here. We might fail. If so, so
I
be it.
trained well.
Oh, we actually succeeded. Fantastic. Now we can put a few more units in Castalton's army, which seems like that would be prudent. What do we want to do with Castalton's army right now? Honestly, I want to just spam it full of more spears. That's going to be the most useful thing for me right now. But we'll want to start getting a couple of ice guards. Can't get them locally, so they're going to be very expensive. Let's merge these units. And let's start off with a few ice guard with glaive. Try and buff up his army a little. Right, I see Tzeentch's army headed towards the Dawi. Let's move and try to help our allies stay in good standing with them. There's nothing for me to build. There's only upgrades to be given out here. This is our Frost Maiden. She levels up. She's going to be doing some work on the campaign map for a while, so let's give her Specialist. Only makes sense in this particular instance. We can actually build up our district here to a Kislevite colony. Provides more garrison for our friends, and then gives us better recruitment rate and such and such here. So let's take care of that. Might as well. We got the cash right now. We got all that Slaanesh money, keeping us well funded. Let's get to some more comments here. Alric says, "Thanks for another episode, Air. Do you know when the Mortal Empires map is coming?" I do not. I wish I did. I don't even know what it's called yet. All I know is that it is coming. I do think it's unfortunate that it's taken this long since CA knew that they were going to need it at release. They must have been way more delayed than any of us knew with the development of this game back in the day. So I feel like, yeah, they must have just been terribly delayed. Because otherwise, I can't imagine why they would really want to launch the game without it. Maybe that was part of their original plan, was just thinking, hey, it won't be that big of a deal. We didn't launch the last game with it, so we'll launch without it this time. And we'll add it as soon as we can, and people can just have fun in the meantime. I think it's kind of backfired, to be honest. Probably wouldn't have backfired so badly if they had fixed some of the stuff from that first patch quicker and released with mod support on day one. Mod support should have been there on day one for this game, for sure. So, yeah, some misses there, but you know, hindsight's always perfect. Hopefully they'll do better over time. Couple more turns. We've got Castalton's army up to snuff. I'm gonna bypass these legions because we have all that other armies there. I'm gonna go ahead and just keep marching Zarina Katerin towards the Legion of Chaos here. I want to take them out. I want to take the fight to their turf so they'll be off of my turf. Patchy's turf, okay? Stay off Patchy's turf.
My decision is law.
Is it? Is it though? Right, let's set up an ambush here. See if we can draw in Kronos here of the Flaming Scribes. Tzeentch. Flaming Kill Scribes, apparently. This Kill Scribe is a character in the Tzeentch campaign, if you haven't caught it yet. It's good stuff.
Tutored by ice.
Let's assault it again. Give him a good assaulting. All right, let's get to the next comment here. Daniel Corlata says, you know, it'd be cool as a feature to add to the ogres if when playing against them, you could pay them off to leave. If you're playing them, you could extort other factions by raiding and trespassing. That would be pretty fun. And it seems like it'd be something pretty simple to add. I wonder if a modder could put that kind of stuff in. Anyway, he has some unit name suggestions for me. They are good suggestions. I will try to get to those. I've got them here, Daniel. And he says, maybe for the plague mechanic, there should be a skill point or follower that treats them and makes it. Yeah, that would work too. And I would be totally fine with that as well. Like if there was, what do you call it? Traits and retainers and stuff like that that would make the plagues last. Again, that'd be totally cool. I'd be fine with that. Or you have something like that, and then you have buildings in your province that have a chance of stopping it when you're in your like when you go and put yourself in that city. Like something to keep it from being like 10 turns on end. Just constant plague shenanigans. It's really quite awful. I'm going to take a look. If I come out of... Yeah, okay, that's going to give us attrition. Let's just stand and fight right in front of this ugly demon and see if he'll take us.
I command it.
Got a pretty potent army here with all those exalted demonets and spawn, but I got no question we can take on Daniel the Demon here. And let's see.
Disciple.
Boris can continue his
Lost
march to
return.
Castle Alexandrov to reclaim it. In the name of Kislev, and reclaim it we shall, folks. The Tzeentch stuff is just stuck here. We're gonna have to go get rid of the corruption there. I wonder if this character would help reduce corruption there. We need to go check it out. We've got to deal with that corruption.
Highborn son.
That Tzeentch army did not take bait. I'm gonna move farther forward and see if we can catch them up
Take
here.
me there.
Okay, so Hannibal Berkus lays
Maiden
in
of
wait.
the Frosts.
I'm gonna go ahead and take this Frost Maiden, shift her down this way as well. Maybe see if
Experience.
those two characters will make a difference at Wolfenburg. We can build our building there that we needed. Everything else has been built except for Troll Country, where we can improve our defenses. And we can build this. Leblia is currently under siege, so I can't do anything there. I'm gonna try and free that up with Gustaufen. He might be too late, but it won't be a big deal. Leblia was not a very big settlement to begin with. Elijah Ho says, Heir, I know I've asked this before,
The
but could the
frozen
Ice Court bless us
kingdom
with a little
welcomes
Grom
all its
called
allies.
Washtik and Katusha? If you do, well, you know what? If I get one, I will try and keep that in mind. I want to say that was one of Daniel's names, too. Yeah, Wojtek? I said Wojtik. He says Wojtek, I think is how it's pronounced, for an elemental bear or little Grom. In real life, he was a bear adopted. So this is Daniel's comment again. He was a bear adopted by an artillery unit of the Polish army in World War II, carried ammunition and fought in the battle. That's awesome. It's absolutely awesome. Yes, if we get a bear, we will name it that. Looks like Boris Todbringer wants us to join a war. Why are you having a pointless war with the elves, dude? The whole world's being consumed by chaos, in case you hadn't noticed, Boris. I know you only got one eye, but I still figure even to your one eye that becomes something that you can see. Ugh, F in the chat for Boris, I guess.
Boris Ursus.
Not for Boris Ursus, of course. That was other Boris.
I control the frosts.
Unwavering duty.
Let's see if this will help start to remove some of this Tzeentch corruption, because right now the Tzeentch corruption is just stuck. There's no building here to remove it.
Strength. Through
Cleanse
faith.
corruption. Constant local effect. Okay, well it should start to have an impact on corruption. Yes, okay, and I've got another one coming down there. I don't know if it also cleanses corruption, but we'll see. And moving in, it looks like
None shall
Mr.
question
Demon
me.
was scared of Tsarina Katerin. We are not scared of him, however, and I am going to
They
attack,
will fall.
despite the fact that they're going to have a garrison here to back them up. In fact, that will just make this more fun. Kill. Oh my, Nurgle. The disgusting Nurgle garrison. Well, Katerina is about to get a plague and get all affected by that too, but this should be quite the epic brawl here, so let's take care of it. So, Malefex Kilgore, ever since having, fallen from being a Kislevite prince into being a demon, has been really looking forward to the day where he could prove to himself and to others that his ascension, so to speak, to chaos truly was worth it. Losing his previous form and losing anything that had to do with honor. And so he has an army, and rather than fight Tsarina Katerin on open ground, he ran rather cowardly back to his fortress. However, telling everybody, don't worry, this is strategery, and I will defeat the Tsarina by pulling her into my death fortress. You can see here in the background. He has his forces of chaos waiting, but Tsarina Katerin has something waiting on him too. She has some strategery of her own, if you will, and it's going to be this. She's got a couple of forces that are going to just come up to the entrances, start unleashing missile barrages on anything stupid enough to step into their arc of fire. And that's right, I'm talking to you, exalted Demonets of Slaanesh. Once again, wearing the, as my son calls it, metal swimsuits into battle. Not such a good idea. You can see we have Spawn of Slaanesh here as well. Other such Slaaneshi targets. all very low armor. And where it's not Slaaneshi targets, there are Nurgle targets. Again, all of which are going to be very low armor, which Tsarina Katarin's archers love a great deal. Now, speaking of the Tsarina, where is she? What is she up to? Now, I'm literally asking myself, okay, I thought she was over here. I couldn't actually see it from the hive view. Here she is. Your confused old heir narrating. So Tsarina Katarin decides to bypass the defenders, run straight past them. Their little graveyard here is supposed to spook us out. And then she is going to come right into a capture point. Now what this will do is force the enemy to come to me. And as they all come to my bears, I will have the opportunity to use superior magic and blobbing so that I can blob the enemy up and destroy them. You can see that we have claimed the first capture point here. Now that will give me some melee buffs, and if we capture more, we will get even more buffs. Now, the Slaaneshi lawnmowers, so to speak, have been brought in, and this crew here, tending to the greenkeeping, I guess decided to go mow over some Nurglings. They are green, so to their credit, that was actually an appropriate place to start off mowing. Here comes the Demonets. I guess they decide that they're going to be the first to challenge Tsarina. And I'm going to charge away and then back into them, try and maximize the charge of my Warbear Riders here. Now, the Slaaneshi troops here do not have any particular anti-large bonus, but there will be a lot of them. They have quite a high attack and damage value, which means that when they do land hits, it will be rather substantial. So, we're going to get this fight started. However, their low armor is going to make them very vulnerable to the Hawks Miska, and also to the Heart of Winter. They will be quite vulnerable to both of those. Now, in the meantime, what has been going on? Well, pretty much more of the same. I wait for idiot defenders to walk in front of my arc of fire, and I shoot them. Pretty straightforward practice. You can see it's working quite well over here. These Nurglings have been utterly destroyed and fell down in a wonderfully unison animation there. CA, well done. Oh man, yeah, I do feel like the graphics are much better. Much smoother and less blurry. I'm enjoying the extra crispness. Thanks for the tip there. But yeah, here's going to be some Spawn of Slaanesh wandering in here. They're going to get peppered by my Streltsy and my Ice Guards. So that's what's going on in the other places. So the AI is keeping busy reshuffling. They are very simply programmed, and their programming is to just block an entrance. Too overly simple, really. And because of it, we can make them pay. Now, I already got a Heart of Winter here that badly damaged all of these Exalted Demonets. And here comes the Hawks of Miska, unleashing their magical lightning from their wings. Also doing tremendous damage. Again, all this low armor makes them particularly vulnerable, and in this case, the Hawks of Miska is actually bouncing off of the narrow walls here, so this choke point they're fighting in actually favors me even more, helps me do even more damage. I brought up the light war sleds. I really need to trade these out for heavy ones. Maybe I'll do that, because Tsarina Katarin is likely to get the plague from having won this battle, and then maybe that'll give me an opportunity to trade out for the heavy war sleds, which are much more well-armored. You can see I've used Crystal Sanctuary now, and Crystal Sanctuary is going to give a 60% damage resistance to all my troops, which means that none of these forces will be doing much, if any, damage to us. We've got them utterly bogged down in a fight that is not advantageous for them. And meanwhile, poor Malefex Kilgore, his forces just keep falling for it. They are just too stupid to step outside their programming. In fact, he's sitting here. See, I didn't add this animation, but you can add it in your own mind. He's just sitting here with the finger up his nose, looking kind of like Patrick Starr, going after the molten boogers that lie within, and looking over at his rot flies and thinking, man, those things are gross. But that's all he can do. Like I said, he is a product of his programming. His programming is crap. In the meantime, it looks like they at least built some towers to try and shoot my troops, and on this flank at least, they are less so walking into my trap, but still sometimes doing so. The disgusting, flabby, naked, gelatinous bodies of these plague bearers being filled full of arrows, and this a pretty disgusting sight to behold, if I might add myself. We're going to swing back across town here and look at Tsarina Katarin's progress. She has mowed down several more infantry units, and this is slowly turning the power bar against the Legions of Chaos. And speaking of legions, there are some more plague bearers approaching from over in this direction, and if I can draw all of them, so there's a unit there, here, I can draw them both into combat, I can once again get a very effective blob-busting kill here, and further drive the enemy's power bar down into the dirt. You can see they continue to reshift their units. This is what the AI does. They have to protect certain entrances because they kind of just expect you to roll straight into the fortress. That's what they want you to do. Roll in, get bogged down in a melee. That's where they put up their best fight. And, you know, there's times when that's fun, like when you're playing as Khorne, and that's your only option is to just roll in and get in a melee. Then there's times where you're playing as Kislev or Cathay. You've got this substantial range, and of course you're not going to just roll in and give them free kills by standing around in melee. You're going to use up as much of your ammunition as you can, cause as much damage as you can. So you can see here that that continues to be the case, and I have caused substantial damage to my enemies. Look at these idiots just running around up here, tempting fate. Fortunately for them, I'm out of ammunition on my ice guards, lest they would be dropping in droves right now, so they can enjoy the slight time they have still living. Now, meanwhile, I've got a Heart of Winter well underway, freezing the disgusting bubonic corpses, these plague bears. They get tossed around by my war bears. I've also been shooting them from behind. My sleds suddenly got attacked by a summoned unit, the Chaos Furies, so we'll go deal with those. My Heart of Winter killed off the first two units, and a third one joined the fray, but it is well on the way down and just not going to do well. So we are going to get the better of all these engagements, and the AI just continues to lose. And all of this losing will eventually get Malefic's Kilgore to thinking. Eventually that finger will come out of there, and his Ralph Wiggum-esque type of nose-picking really knows no boundaries. It'll eventually get out of there. What little is left of his brain, having been jabbed by his fingernails as he dug deep in there for that sweet green gold, will realize that he needs to go and attack Tsarina Katerin, which was the whole purpose of this battle anyway. Like I said, that guy is definitely having some Patrick Star moments. So yeah, really nothing else to do here on the flanks. It's really quite simple. I've moved my Streltsy forward because they have more ammunition, and we're just going to continue owning. So Tsarina Katerin manages to take out yet another unit, and rather than come to fight himself, Malefic's Kilgore sends forward a Herald of Nurgle here in order to try and stop me. I think it's a Herald of Nurgle. Sometimes I get the wrong. It's the hero version. Plague-ridden. Sorry. Yeah, Plague-ridden would be the name of it. So we're going to go run him down. My bear sleds will do quite well against him. And then I've got the Tsarina as well. He's trying to flee away, but we're going to surround and destroy him. And he will die very quickly. I'm going to put Death Frost on him from a magic standpoint here shortly, which is a direct damage spell. You can see some Nurglings in the background, but what's funny is that not even they wish to come to his defense. That Plague-ridden wasn't a very good leader. The local Nurglings union had lobbied him for lower pay and less health benefits, and he wouldn't give in, and they weren't very happy about it, so they were very reluctant to join and try and help him out, because he was really on their bad side. But ultimately, they did bring their infectious, pus-filled little bodies over. We offered up Salyuk and Ursin as sacrifices, and sure to be frozen. Now, finally, Malefic's Kilgore and his other troops decide, you know what? Maybe we should attack. Just in time for another Crystal Sanctuary, which means they'll take almost no damage once again, while he gets bogged down in the middle of my units, which is absolutely spectacular. And then guess what else? Hawks of Miska, that's correct. So the globbed up units here outside of Malefic's Kilgore are going to take tremendous damage. The Hawks of Miska, which is bouncing around, and then comes another big frozen spell from Tsarina Katerin. That one is part of her built-in abilities. So she basically wipes out all of the support troops. And that leaves the nose-picking demon himself left to flutter, being completely surrounded by bears, and really not having a good day of it. And as he goes down, that is pretty much going to be it, folks. The settlement is going to fall. There's nothing left to defend it. And Tsarina Katerin proved why she is still the Ice Queen, and the Demon Prince is just a wannabe hack. So here we go. The troops move in, and the settlement will be captured for Kislev. All right, well that worked out just about as well as I thought it would, meaning that we could use our magic, our single entities, sleds, and range in order to cause the AI some extreme difficulty, and that it was, and we reaped some serious reward in our treasury. That is always appreciated, and we're going to occupy the Tower of Crack. Unfortunately, we picked up a stupid plague, and it's going to last for 5 turns. Which is highly irritating. Fortunately for me, we're not going to take that much attrition per turn, just because it's the way I have things set up on Tsarina Katerin right now. She is fairly low on attrition, all things considered. So, that's going to be a major plus. I do hope you all enjoyed this episode. It has been a good one. We got some attacking done. Now we're off in what was enemy territory. So making some moves there, which ought to be very nice in terms of helping to build that buffer zone around our own territory, so that we can operate a little more safely whenever we do have to dive into the portals, which will eventually come. I'm going to go ahead and take Ursin's Invocation again. This one's just really good at making enemy armies die when they're in your territory. And I'm a big fan of enemy armies dying in my presence. I'm going to take Gestalten. I'm going to rush up here to Leblia, try and free them. It looks like the Tzeentch armies have not yet taken the bait that Hannibal Baracus is offering. So I'm going to move a little closer still and see if we can catch these guys in ambush. So Hannibal Baracus, ever the strategist, pushing forward. Going to lay in wait, and we'll see what we can find. And then, of course, I think on the next episode, we're going to have to get ready to lay siege with Boris on Castle Alexandrov. And hopefully you're all ready for some fun action on this next episode. HeirofCarthage signing out for now. I will see you next time on Total War Warhammer 3.